Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Liz. If you're new here, kindly subscribe to my channel and let's get to this. So this particular bralette that we're making today, I'm calling it an inverted bralette because this is the part that goes to over your neck. Then this part straps below the bust. However, it's all up to you. You can decide to wear this part to the neck or this other part. This bralette takes very little time to work through. You're going to be done in less than 2 hours and you're only going to need one ball of yarn, and so I hope you're going to enjoy making as many bralettes as possible. You're going to need a ball of yarn. I'll use a 3mm hook, a pair of scissors and a measuring tape. We begin with this strap that goes to the neck, and to do that you're going to need 2 strands of the yarn. So get your yarn and get 2 strands. We want to get a thick strap, and that's why I'm getting 2 strands of the yarn. Start with a slip knot and then chain 200. I have my chain ready, so I'm going to cut off the yarn, and the strap is done. Pull through and fasten. So we are done working with 2 strands. Next we're going to attach this part right here. We're going to attach with single crochets over the chain that we've just done, but then before that you need your bust measurements. So take your bust measurements and divide it by 4. I'm working a bust of 32 inches, and therefore that divided by 4 is 8. So you're going to chain a chain that is long enough to fit a quarter of the bust that you're working. So in my case, I want to work a chain that is 8 inches when stretched out. So I'm going to start with a chain of 25, 25 chains when stretched out is going to fit 8 inches, and that's what I need. If you're working a bust that is bigger than 32, then it means that you're going to need to work more chains. And make sure that when you're measuring, you're stretching out your chain. Then you don't need these chains, so you're going to pull it out. We just needed to know the number of chains that we're going to need. Then get the strap, and we're going to work single crochets over the chain, over this chain or over the strap. So just like this. So I'm going to pull that loop and complete this with a single crochet. Make sure that you're making the single crochets loosely, don't make them too tight. Go over the chain, pull through to make a single crochet, and do the same, and you're going to do as many number of chains as you've just chained. So I chained 25 that were giving me 8 inches. So if you've chained 30, you're going to work 30 single crochets over this chain. So in my case, I'm going to work 25. So I have my 25 single crochets on top of the chain, and this, by doing this, makes it very easy to move this along. So you can pull it together, you can pull it apart, and that is the effect that you need. We're going to begin the first row with a chain of 3. So chain 3, and the chain 3 acts as the first double crochet. Then turn your work, and then we're going to work into the next chain. Now this time, do not make double crochets that are too loose. You want to maintain the tension that you use when you're making your outfit. So into the next single crochet, put a double crochet, then a double crochet into the next single crochet, into the next, put a double crochet, and we're going to put 1 double crochet into every stitch for a total of 25 double crochets. Be careful not to put more than a double crochet into every stitch because the stitches are a bit wide, and so be careful to only put 1 double crochet into every stitch. So if you've started with 30 single crochets, by the end of this row you should have 30 double crochets. I have my first row of 25 double crochets, and at this point I can pull these stitches together just to ensure that they are not so much apart. Then to begin row 2, we're going to chain 3 again, chain 3, turn your work. Then we're going to work 1 double crochet into every stitch, and again you're going to have the same number of double crochets as you had in the first row. So for row 2 and row 3, you should have the same number of double crochets. So work row 2 and 3, and let's meet at the end of row 3 to begin row 4. In row 4, we're going to start working a reduction, and we're going to reduce in every row on this side and on the other side so that we get this V effect. So to begin row 4, chain 3 and turn. That's our first double crochet. Then we're going to reduce in the second and the last stitch, in the second and the third stitch. So yarn over, go into the second stitch, pull a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Do not complete the double crochet, yarn over, go into the third, pull a loop, pull through 2, get your incomplete double crochet, then yarn over and pull through the 3 loops on the hook. And there we have our first reduction. Then we're going to work the next reduction into the second last and third last stitch. So work a double crochet till you have 3 stitches remaining. So I have my 3 stitches remaining, 1, 2 and 3. So I'm going to reduce into this stitch and this stitch. I'm going to combine them to get 1 stitch. So yarn over, go into that stitch, pull a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the stitch, pull 2, pull through 2. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all the 3. Then go into the last stitch with a double crochet. At the end of row 4, I have a total of 23 because I've reduced on both sides. Then chain 3 and turn to begin row 5. Again, after turning, we're going to reduce into the second and third stitch. We convert this into 1 stitch. So yarn over, go into the second stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, go into the third, pull through 2, pull through all the loops like that, and we've done the second reduction. Then we're going to work until we have 3 stitches remaining. I have the 3 stitches right here, so I'm going to reduce into this stitch and this one, convert them into 1, yarn over, go into that stitch, pull through 2, yarn over, pull a loop, pull through 2, pull through the 3 loops, then finally a double crochet into the last stitch on top of the first chain 3 that you began with. So we're done with row 5. Row 6, until you have 3 double crochets remaining, you're just going to be working on reduction on both sides. So these are you're supposed to reduce. So reduce in every row, both at the beginning and at the end, until you have only 3 double crochets remaining, and I'll meet you there. So I'm going to work my last reduction into the second last stitch and the last stitch. And at this point I have 3 stitches remaining, so I'm going to be working in the 3 stitches in order to make the strap. So this strap right here, it's made using the 3 double crochets. So I'll be working rows of double crochets, and I'll work a total of 50 rows of 3 double crochets each. So I begin with chaining 3 and turn. That's our first double crochet. Then we have the second double crochet into the next stitch and the last one. That's my row 1. Then I'm going to chain 3, turn, then work 2 more double crochets for a total of 3. That's row 2, chain 3 and turn, work 2 more double crochets, chain 3 and turn, 2 double crochets into the next 2 stitches. Then keep going until you have a total of 50 rows of 3 double crochets, or whatever number of rows you want. If you want your chain too long, or if you want your chain longer, you can work more than 50 rows. If you want it shorter, you can work less rows. So I'll just keep going like this till I have my desired number of rows. So do that, and I'll meet you once you're done. I'm done with the strap and done with one side of the cap, one side of the bralette, that is one of the caps, and therefore I'm going to get my yarn. I've already cut off the yarn at this point at the end of the strap, and therefore I'm going to get the yarn, and I'll attach it the same way I attached this other cap. So just with single crochets, beginning with a slip knot, and you're going to work the same number of single crochets as you did at the beginning right here. So you're just going to work over the, we're going to work over the strap with single crochets. So that's the first one, go over the second, and I'm going to work 25 single crochets just like I did with the first cap, and everything else is completely identical. So once you have your single crochets, you're going to work 3 rows of double crochets, and then from row 4 up to the end, you're going to work a reduction on both sides until you have the 3 stitches remaining, and then you're going to work a strap that is as long as the first one that you've just worked. And at that point, once you're done with the second cap, you'll be done with the bralette. So I'll go on make my other cap, and I'll come back show you the outcome. I'm done with the other cap, and I'm just going to pull it together like the other one. So just like that. And you can have the stitches close together, you can stretch them out, it's all up to you. So all that's remaining is to weave in the ends. So you want to hide the tails inside the stitches just to make sure that it's not going to unravel. However, in this part where we have this chain, all I do is make a knot and make sure that the knot is very close to the stitches, tighten it, and then just cut off like that. And then I do the same to the other side. Tighten and cut off there. To weave in the other ends, these ones right here, I get them done in needle, put it through, and then just hide the yarn inside the stitches. So you just go doing this until you're satisfied that the tail is completely hidden, and once it's completely hidden, you're going to cut off the remaining tail. So at this point, I just get the pair of scissors and cut that off. Then I'll do the same to this other strap, and then we have the tails at this point. So I'll get one of the tails, so I'm just putting the tail inside the stitches. You want to ensure that the tail is not visible on the other side, so it's just going in between the stitches. Then you can go back with this. And then cut it off. Then you're going to do the same with the other tail on the other side. At this point, I'm done with the bralette, and thank you so much for sticking around to the end of this video. If you've liked the video, kindly give it a thumbs up. Please leave a comment. Tell me your opinions of this bralette and whatever improvements you think I can make. I would like to see your recreations of this bralette, so when you get to make it, kindly tag me on your social media pages and I'll be reposting each of your posts. I've left the link to my social media pages in the description box. So thank you so much and see you in the next tutorial. Bye!